Welcome to the Prophecy Club. Boy, we got a lot of different topics today. Censorship, ID, drones, typhus, dengue, and wheat. I did a lot of research for this today, and unfortunately, it's just all over the map. There's just not one big thing. But then that's kind of the point. The devil is attacking us from all directions. And sad to say these days, in most of those directions, he is winning. Very few of them is he being stopped. Okay, let's start first of all with Friday night, Bible study. So yes, at least till the foreseeable future, every Friday night, 6:30 to 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, you can join me for our Bible study, which is a very, very unusual Bible study because what we do is read the Bible. I laugh, but you wouldn't believe some of the crazy things that people do in Bible studies, okay? So this is really, really reading the Bible. As a matter of fact, we are going to be in Acts chapter 20 for the next one. Also, I want to say thank you very much for sending information to me. Matter of fact, the very best information comes to me from the askstan email. So thank you. We really need. Also, it would be very helpful if you would put in a time code and kind of a little sentence there on what you're wanting me to see, because, you know, I get a 2-hour video. Hey, this is good. I don't have 2 hours to watch it. If I did that, then I wouldn't be able to make a program. See, so I need you to send me right there and say, this is what you want to see. And by the way, thank you, because that, for the most part, that's where the information comes. It comes from you folks sending it to me. And also, thank you for joining Prophecy Club. As you know, as a result of dream from Jason Meeks and confirmed to a prophecy from Prophet Andre Bronkhorst, we are now asking people to join the Prophecy Club, to actually become a member. And if you'll click on that little QR code there at the bottom, it'll tell you all about it. Anyway, let's go on. First topic. Why do our Western governments fear the truth and seek to crush its most ardent messengers? Well, before we get into the article, I'm going to answer that. It's because this is the devil crushing everything that has to do with Jesus, because you might say the devil has come out of the closet the last few years, and he's throwing everything he can at the Christians because he knows it's his time. His time to get his man, the Antichrist, on the throne. That's the real purpose behind it. But this guy has some good points. He says, let's face it, the First Amendment, in other words, the right of free speech, has been utterly crushed. I agree. We have, for all intents and purposes, lost our rights to free speech and freedom of the press. I agree. We have the equivalent of a state-run media now that feeds whatever talking points to the public they believe will advance and consolidate their growing powers to the people. Now, why? Again, they want to push the mark of the beast, their man on the throne. They no longer work for us, as they see it. We exist at their pleasure. We have no rights, only privileges, and we must earn those privileges by being obedient to our elitist masters and their corporate media mouthpieces. I agree. Now keep that in mind, because that's going to tie in here in just a second. We are now jailing people for life because the government does not believe in their speech. Down to the Biden's DOJ's latest indictment against Trump. This indictment says, and not so many words, that if we, the Department of Justice, and prosecutors at the Department of Justice believe that you Christian, as a citizen or as an elected official, are not telling the truth as we recognize it, then we're going to throw you in jail. We've seen it, and it's getting worse. That we can charge you with a conspiracy to defraud the United States if we see that your speech is disinformation. They will take you off a platform. They will shut you down if you are telling people the truth. I've had it happen. We are now trying to jail people for life because the government does not agree with their speech and their political views. Worldcoin, now again, keep this in mind, it's going to paint a picture. Worldcoin says will allow companies and governments to use its ID system. Oh, thank you, Worldcoin. That's just what we want. We want to be part of a global ID system. We want to be able to be tracked and monitored. I mean, we want to know who we are. We want to know where we are. We want to know what we spend. Thank you so much, Worldcoin. Baloney. Worldcoin will expand its operations to sign up more users globally and aims to allow other organizations. They do think we're stupid, and sad to say, so many Christians are. I mean, they are. Matter of fact, even the Bible says that the people of the world are smarter than the children of light. True. Anyway, aims to allow other organizations to use its iris scanning and identity verifying technology. And co-founded by this Sam Altman, Worldcoin launched last week. Now listen to this. Requiring users to give their iris scans in exchange for a digital ID, and in some countries, they also get free cryptocurrency. That's just what we've been telling you. We've been saying they're going to set up a digital ID system around the world, and the way they're going to, and this is straight from World Economic Forum, which is the guys behind the push to world government, and they're going to give people a lot of money, but they have to access the money by accessing their account, or to access the account, they got to give up their iris, probably their DNA, probably their fingerprints, their voice print, all of their biometrics. Why? So that no man can buy or sell save he had the mark of the name of the beast and the number of his name. We know where it's going. But see, sadly, most of the world that hadn't read Revelation 13, they don't understand that. Requiring users to give their iris scans, in exchange for digital ID in some countries, free currency is part of the plans to create an identity and financial network. Oh, thank you for setting up the identity and financial network. Again, baloney. People have been getting their faces scanned at a shiny spherical orb, shrugging off privacy campaigners' concerns that their biometric data could be misused. You think. So I showed you a couple of days ago a long line around the block, standing in line to stare into a silver ball to get their iris scan. And wouldn't you like to know what they're really getting? I think it's more than just iris. I think it's more than just face. Who knows what they're able to get from that? I just know that I'm not going to be one of them. We are on this mission of building the biggest financial and identity community that we can. You know, people are willingly ignorant. Okay, you know, the Bible's there. Right now, they're all over. Matter of fact, they're in most homes with a lot of dust on them, which is why I'll invite you to the Bible study every Friday night. God knows the Bible. Dimitri said, if you know the Bible, you know the truth, and the devil can't trick you. Becoming China. Biden admin pushes digital ID and biotech. What? Okay, wait a minute. This is more. So the White House is now pushing digital IDs and biotechnology. What's that? This came the same day, executive action on artificial intelligence. Digital ID is very dangerous because it is inevitably a prelude to a type of social credit score, as in China, where a digital ID is required to do anything. You won't be able to leave your house, buy food, get in a car, change. You won't be able to go more than 10 blocks away without digital ID because you got to be a part of their social credit score. And if you do what they tell you, you have highest credit score. If you don't do, then maybe you don't have a credit score at all, and you can't buy or sell, say you had the mark in the name. But you see where we're going? Any words or actions not approved by the government can affect one's digital ID status. Critique the Chinese Communist Party on social media? Or maybe just a neighbor. No grocery shopping for you. Biden regime is trying to sneak universal background checks through a regulatory backdoor. You see, all of the government, that's the point. This is not just coming from one nation or one direction. We are getting hit from all nations, from all directions, all with the same objective, to put their man on the throne. Last year, the gun control crowd scored one of its biggest victories in the last 3 decades after President Joe Biden signed the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act. A key provision of this legislation enhanced background checks and would require anyone who earns a profit from selling firearms to obtain a federal license and conduct background checks. In other words, it's another step toward taking our guns away. By the way, our founding fathers didn't want us to have guns so that we could go deer hunting. Our founding fathers wanted us to have guns so that we keep the Molochs from killing us. Okay? That's the truth of the matter. The National Desk. U.S. credit downgraded from AAA to AA by Fitch Ratings. Oh, what's that mean? Well, what's going on? Well, when you've got too much debt, they don't want to loan you more money. Bottom line, that's what it's saying. Now, what does that mean when they've downgraded America's credit? It means that fewer nations will want to borrow from us. So what does that mean? That means that fewer nations want to hold our dollars, want to hold our securities. What does that mean? That means that they will start dumping them, as they already are over the last few months, until one day we wake up and they say, you may notice that your bank balance today is 33% less. Everybody just got 33% deducted from your bank balance today. Oh, yes, we can do that. And yes, we did do that because the dollar's not worth as much. That's what the prophecies say is coming, which, by the way, I've said it a lot. I hope you're listening. I suggest strongly that you call cornerstoneassetmetals.com. It doesn't hurt. They don't spank your hands. It is not painful. It doesn't cost anything. Call them and say, okay. Look, I got this little bit of money over here. What do you suggest I do? Now, maybe they say, no, you're in good shape. Maybe they say a little here, a little there. I don't know. I can't give financial advice, but they can. cornerstoneassetmetals.com. And since we're talking about that, we're about to get to wheat too. Joseph Kitchen is by far the cheapest, best long-term storage food I know of. I mean, most of these long-term storage food places, you're talking $9,000 to feed one person for a year. Joseph Kitchen can show you how to do it using wheat, which is the same thing that fed the world during the 7 years of famine back in the days of Joseph and the pyramids. About $1,000 per person per year. Matter of fact, my lunch just moments ago was a slice of bread, whole wheat bread I made, with a slice of cheese and a slice of chicken on it. And that's all I had. That was my lunch. And I'm not getting overweight. Losing weight. I'm lowering my cholesterol, lowering my blood pressure. And it's really, really good. $1,000 a year per person, josephskitchen.com. All right, so let's keep going. So they've downgraded our credit. That means we're probably looking at sometime in August or September. I don't know for sure. Just guess. I'm just trying to help you understand. Probably the dollar is going to devalue. The prophecies say it'll go down 30%. And it's not a gradual down where you can prepare for it. It's a boom. It's like you wake up the next morning. Yeah, I know you had $700 in the bank yesterday, but now you only have $500. Now I know you had $1,500, but now you only have $1,200, whatever the amount is. Yeah, we can do that. Yes, they are trying to kill us. Typhus deaths spike in Los Angeles. Health experts are alarmed at a spike in typhus cases in Los Angeles County, where 3 recent deaths have been blamed on the disease. Now, hang on. Do you really think that it's the fleas spreading it? Or could it be the Molochs spreading it? Or could it be the hand of God? Or could it also be all 3? Because if you go back into Leviticus 26 and Deuteronomy 28, he says, and if you keep my laws, I will put on none of the curses that I put upon Egypt. Diseases. So here's the way it works. The Lucifer stands before God, accusing the brethren day and night. And that's where he is right now. So he is constantly saying, see what they did? Okay, because they did that, you should give me permission to do this. So then he says, okay, you can do this. Now, how does he do that? Well, in this case, well, they're sinning against you. You should give me permission to kill them. How about we say things like typhoid and maybe dengue fever? And how about if we spread it by fleas or by mosquitoes? God says, okay, well, since they've sinned against me, okay, you can do that. That's the way it works. That's the way it's working here. The disease is spread by fleas. These 3 deaths are a wake-up call to start thinking about the disease and the severe manifestations and the effect on our communities. Now, the next one is dengue fever. CDC confirms an outbreak of dengue fever in the United States. At present, there are 225 cases of dengue fever in the United States. New York has been hit with 23 cases, Texas 1. That's kind of where the most sin is, isn't it? The disease is spread through mosquito bites. Symptoms include severe pain of the patient's eyes, head, muscles, joints, high fever, nausea, vomiting, and fatigue. Severe dengue fever and also can cause internal bleeding, organ damage, blood pressure can drop to dangerous levels, causing shock and sometimes death. All because we sin against God? Yep, that's the way it works. Ukraine Marine drone hits Russian ship, explodes. Oh, yeah, I know what you're thinking. Yeah, it's more of that war talk. No, this one's hitting home here. Let me explain. Ukrainian sea drones attacked a Navy base at one of Russia's largest Black Sea ports, and it reportedly forced a temporary halt of all ship movements at the key port. Do you get it yet? Ukraine's significant grain supplies, there you go, are exported around the world, driving the global grain prices up more than 10%. My point is, for a lot of reasons, wheat prices, which is the primary food that Americans, really the world lives off of, that and the rice, prices going up, prices going up. I'm warning you. Right now, you can get really good prices. JosephKitchen.com. If you want to just buy wheat, you can buy just wheat. But they have all the supplies. JosephKitchen.com. Here's what you want to do. You want to go and get you a machine package. That's all the gizmos you need to grind the wheat and cook the bread and all that sort of stuff. Then you decide how much food you want. Food for 1 person a year, 2 people a year, 4 people a year, 6 people a year. How much? And you click, and they normally will ship it out the next day. Get there early, you might be able to get them to ship it out that day with a phone call, I'm told. All right, let's keep going. Wagner Group prepares to invade Poland. Now, this one is a little complicated. I'll explain. You northern people say explain, but down here in Texas, we say splain. So I'll explain to you. In a world ripe with this information, the idea of the Wagner Group. Now, you remember the Wagner Group, that was the group that kind of acted like they were trying to overthrow the Russian government. Yeah, I think it's all a plan, and I think this guy here's got their plan. In a world ripe with disinformation, the idea of the Wagner Group, based in Belarus, invading Poland appears to be far-fetched. However, maybe not so. The latest twist in the unfolding march to World War III is that the Wagner Group, who was exiled to Belarus as part of the deal agreed upon by Putin, may be used to invade Poland. Are you catching that? Okay, so the Wagner Group started to invade Moscow. Long story short, it was also just gone away. But now, see, because they're the enemy of Putin, now it may be that Poland's going to open up their doors and let the Wagner Group in, kind of like the Trojan horse. Okay, so we get the Wagner Group into Poland, and all of a sudden, we just let a bunch of Russians into our nation, and we're in trouble. Kind of like we're doing at the southern border right now. Well, if it's true, it would mean a strong proof to those that suggested the entire uprising between Wagner and Putin was actually staged, and even more than that, it would entirely cripple and expand the current war way beyond the boundaries it finds itself in, meaning Putin's use of Wagner to invade Poland appears to be par for the course. So will NATO tried to use Wagner as a reason to expand World War III. You see, one of the things you look for to spot the start of the tribulation is wars, many wars. There went forth another horse that was red. Power is given to him to take peace from the earth. They should kill one another. And power is given him that they should kill one another, and given him a great sword. So we see that. We see all kinds of wars starting and getting worse, and more ID. So Eurostar vows to speed up check-in process with a facial verification system. I've actually walked through it. Me and Leslie have. You know, you do much flying, you walk through this. And what we had to do is just walk up and just look at a camera, little green light thing, walk on through, just like that. Stan, you try to stay out of systems. Yes, I do. Matter of fact, you folks watch the Bible study, know that about 6 weeks ago during Bible study, we got hit with hail. And I was thinking, it probably won't be that bad. It was that bad. They had to replace my whole roof. And so the insurance company would call and say, okay, I got to talk to you about your roof. And they would say, okay, what are the last 4 digits of your Social Security number? I said, you want to tell me why my home insurance company has my Social Security number? Well, it's just in the records. I said, can you take it out? I'm very protective of my Social Security number, and I might add just about everything else. So he verified me by giving him my address. And he said he took my Social Security number out of their system. My point is, the noose is already around our neck, and I hope we're feeling it getting tightened. We're getting it tightened through a global ID system, a global system to track and monitor us. I keep telling you, your cell phone is not your friend. Your cell phone, like right now, I do not know for certain if the microphone is turned off on my cell phone. I do not know for certain that the camera is turned off in my cell phone. It might be, matter of fact, I even got an Apple Watch over here. It was a gift, okay? It could be recording everything. So if they can turn on, and they can, by the way. We had an FBI agent come and speak to us 25 years ago, and he confirmed, as a matter of fact, the old lines that were the landlines, they said that you'll get a phone call, no one will be there, and you hang it up. But if you hang it up, they have a system to where it does not turn off the microphone. And any phone in the house acts like a listening device, and they can turn it up real loud and hear almost any conversation in their house. He said the only way to stop it is after you answer the phone, then you literally go over to the wall and unplug the landline phone from the wall. Now, I don't know how you get past with the cell phones. Matter of fact, I've had people call and show me how to look it up on there. And you can actually see where it tracks every location you stop at, every place. I mean, like, for example, I play racquetball every Tuesday and Thursday afternoon. So if they want to find me, my cell phone will tell them, okay, well, he's normally here. He arrives about 4:15. I'm saying there's going to come a time, the day will arrive, when you will be required to deny Christ, or, I don't know what the or is. I'd like to think it's something as simple as, or you can't buy groceries, or you can't buy gasoline. I'd like to think it's something like, or you can't get on the interstate. But it might be, or you're going to lose your head. Now, we prophecy students, I know you've done this too. You know, we set our jaw. I'm not going to take that mark of the beast. I'm telling you, it's going to be a lot tougher than what you think. We got to watch ye therefore and pray always, that you might be accounted worthy to escape these things and to stand before the Son of Man. And that's not talking about escape the tribulation. It's talking about escape the tests and make it through the burning of the morning star to receive your glorified body.
It took me about 20 minutes to make these 2 loaves in my kitchen at an ingredient cost of about $12 each. In a time of food shortage and emergency, I'm going to cut each one of these loaves into 14 slices. Eat a slice in the morning and the afternoon, I'll be satisfied. You want long-term food storage? You want to cut your food costs? Here it is. Eat 2 whole wheat bread slices daily for about a year for about $800 each. JosephKitchen.com's wheat berries come in a nitrogen-infused 7-gallon pail for long-term storage. Most other emergency food costs about $10,000 per person per year. That's right, about $10,000 per person per year, but at Joseph Kitchen, you could do it for about $1,000 per person per year. Now, to get started at josephkitchen.com, you're going to need a machines package. That's going to give you the grinder, the bread machine, the knife slicer, all you need to make bread, and then you decide how much food you want to get. You want food 6 people 1 year, 4 people 1 year, 2 people 1 year, or just 1 person for a year, all at josephkitchen.com. About $1,000 per person per year at josephskitchen.com. Use the promo code Prophecy Club. Get you a $50 discount. josephskitchen.com, promo code Prophecy Club for a $50 discount on your first order.
Terry Sacca with CornerstoneAssetMetals.com. So what's going on in the world of finances? Why should they call today?
Well, China has laid out in a speech a few weeks ago exactly what they think of the United States. I haven't seen that in my 55 years. With China and Russia forming these reserve currencies, new reserve currency, we better be prepared because that dollar is going to be in deep trouble and we're going to need assets to protect us from it.
CornerstoneAssetMetals.com. Call them or go online, CornerstoneAssetMetals.com, or call them at 888-747-3309. 888-747-3309. I suggest you not only go to prophecyclub.com, you not only want to just get this book here, which is what we're talking about today, God's Warnings to America. One's $20, but don't get one. Get 5 for $30. That's a better deal. That way you got 4 to give away your friends. Because you start reading this, you're going to want to give it away to other people. Now, here's a better deal. So I've written 4 of these books. I wrote this one. I wrote Daniel, Tribulation Secrets of Daniel, and Miss the Mark, and also Understand Bible Prophecy, Secret Door. I compiled this one. These are prophecies that I gathered from these people, though I think there's only one from me. So, I mean, I didn't write it. I just compiled it, printed it, paid for it to be printed so that you can have a copy of it. However, what the very, very best deal, I think maybe the best we ever had at the Prophecy Club in 30 years, this one is How Pre-Trib Won. This one is explaining to you how the truth beat the lie. How is it that the truth of the fact that there's not a pre-trib rapture lost the match and everybody believes there's going to be a pre-trib rapture? How did that happen? And then I also go in and give you the scriptures very plainly and simply, lay it out for you, and I show you why there's not going to be a pre-trib rapture. Then this book is the Tribulation Secrets in Daniel. It's where I take verse by verse part of Daniel. Don't need the whole book. This is the part of Daniel that as a last days Christian, you need to know and understand. Then Miss the Mark. This has actually turned out to be a very, very popular book because the whole point is to convince people not to take the mark of the beast. Now, Secret Door to Understand Bible Prophecy, this one is, it's not complicated, but it's deep. This is teaching you how to understand Bible prophecy. Whereas Miss the Mark, this is for the person that maybe not even a Christian. They're certainly not a prophecy student. They probably don't know much about the Bible at all. But this one is a book that you hand to someone. You don't know about the mark of the beast? Well, here, read this. And if they'll read the first page or two, they won't put it down. They'll read the whole thing. And if they read the whole thing, whatever happens, they will not take that mark of the beast. And it has pictures of what the mark of the beast actually looks like. And as a matter of fact, we're in the process of getting it also translated into Spanish. Next is, I'll send you to EMPShield.com. If you use the promo word prophecy, you get a $50 discount. What is that? Well, it looks like this. This is the one that goes into a car, okay? And you put the red wire to the red side of the battery, you put the black wire to the black side of the battery, and the green one attaches to the body of the car. Then you peel it off right back here. Just peel that off, stick it inside of the engine compartment of your car. And the whole point is when the electricity goes off or when some kind of a suitcase nuclear device goes off, this is supposed to be able to stop that device from destroying every computer chip in your car. Because if every computer chip is destroyed in your car these days, you couldn't possibly replace them all. Throw the car away. So, EMPShield.com, promo code PROPHECY.